So the next data point that I want to talk about is not only are they staying put, and we can flip to the next slide, but they're working multiple jobs. And 23% of Americans are saying that they are working more jobs. They're working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. And 40% of people surveyed in this Harris Bloomberg poll in December said that they also just had to work 2 jobs in general. And so that's kind of a new thing. And the last data point is if you are out of work, it's taking a lot longer for you to find something new. So it's 22 weeks for unemployed workers to find a new job. And again, that's at the longest lead time, longest level that we've seen since 2021. So we have a lot of this, I think, disproportionate and conflicting data as we're talking about the American worker, and the jobs report that just came out and the momentum that it feels like is in the industry, and lots of beautiful headlines. But the worker today is not feeling that in their day to day.
I'll say, I mean, there are not that many people are happy with where they are, and many people, to your point, aren't leaving. It sounds like all the new jobs are just second jobs. I mean, it's not like there's a whole bunch of like new full-time jobs. It's more potentially part-time jobs, and they're doing more than one. Before, during the pandemic, they didn't have to show up to the office, so they could do 2 or 3 full-time jobs and afford to quit one. And now they have to do part-time jobs because people are making them show up to work, actually.
Which is interesting also to unpack, because there's been so much talk about people coming back into the office, and we still see that happening. Yet there was a recent survey that only 4% of CEOs said they're really going to be enforcing this because they're having such a difficult time with it. So it feels like there's lots of trends changing, lots of, like I said, conflicting information, headlines that don't make sense. To Nick's point, where is the forward-looking data on when things crash and burn because of this credit card debt? And at some point, are we truly going to see a recession, and will it happen this year? And the jury's still out. I don't think anyone can definitively say yes or no.
I think we're in recession in Europe. There's a lot of reckoning. I think Rick's point is incredibly on how a lot of these jobs being second and third. I think we saw in some Fred data that there's a pretty large percentage of people who have 3 jobs. And, with these jobs come no benefits. So that's an added expense, and there's a lot to it. But yeah, I think we're going to see a recession this year. I hate to say it, and a lot of SaaS vendors coming out of NRF were talking positive, and people talking about budgets and companies freeing up. But I just think that the purse strings continue to tighten as that credit card debt, car payments, mortgage payments need to be met. And oh yeah, by the way, article in the Washington Post today that over the last 4 years, food prices are up 25%, and like they haven't come down. Like the milk tax is still happening. So there's a little bit of a land grab, I think, in a reset of that market, which also puts pressure on the consumer, which then ultimately ripples through. So I am recession.
I hope, I'm holding out hope. Like I said, I'm sunshine. I hope that it's not a long winter, that we do get an early spring. I think the data is for sure concerning, and I do believe, though, to Rick's point, the election and the focus on the election might cause some interesting things to happen.
Yeah, I mean, to wrap this up, I think, in the beginning of last year, the whole choices were A, hard landing, meaning like deep recession, B, soft landing, mild recession, C, no landing. Most economists right now are predicting no landing. And so I'm on the sunny side of the street, and let's use that to drive this home.
All right.